Let me just go down the list real quick of what happens to your face. Just your face alone. Oh yeah, and I got the wrong color. Newborn brain. I be cheap when I use my makeup. So today we're gonna go to Lowe's to pick out a shower for our bathroom at our new house. And I'm talking quietly because the baby is asleep and he will probably wake up as soon as I start putting my makeup on. But I figured I would take it along with me and have us get ready for today. So I'm actually obviously doing my makeup, but I'm going to try this L'Oreal Infallible spray. This is, I think, like a dupe to the OS, what is it called? By Patrick Starr, I think that's his name. But anyway, I'm going to try this, put this on my face first. It is a setting spray. I'm going to apply my makeup and just kind of spray this in steps as I go. So let's start. Smells pretty good. But I want to create some tackiness on my face, which is why I'm doing it. And it does kind of feel like tacky. Almost like a very lightweight hairspray. Ooh. Which, if you didn't know, that is what people in theater do. They will sometimes use a hairspray to kind of set their face. So if ever you're in a wedding or a special event that you're getting your hair and makeup done, do not worry about which one they do first, because it doesn't matter. As a matter of fact, a little bit of hairspray on the face isn't going to hurt anything. It's just going to make the makeup stick more. And who doesn't want that when they're going to need to wear the makeup all day? Okay, I started with the e.l.f. Halo Glow liquid filter, and then I use some of the Hourglass foundation stick, and then using the Maybelline concealer eraser multi-use concealer. These are drugstore minus the Hourglass. The Hourglass is not drugstore, but you know what? I think I'm going to add a little more e.l.f. to my face. The e.l.f. is also a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury, what's it called? Flawless filter. So this e.l.f. Halo Glow liquid filter is a dupe for this Hollywood Flawless filter by Charlotte Tilbury. This works so good, and I think it's like 15 bucks, and this is also I think 15 bucks, but obviously you see the difference in the sizes. We are renovating our new home, and we have had to take some areas back to like the studs, the bare bones. In some places we've had to take some of the subfloor out in areas, but you know, sometimes you just don't know what you're getting when you buy a house, and I'm not complaining. It is what it is. It'll just be almost as good as new once we're done with it, and I'm happy about it because then I get to make it how I want for the most part. I wouldn't say this is our forever home, although we might be there forever. You just don't know where life is going to take you. So that's why I never say it's my forever home, because you might say that and then life changes, and then the next minute you're moving across the world somewhere. So it's just a home for me and my family to start with. A quick little tip when you're putting on your foundation is to just kind of gently brush it into your ears a little bit, just to make sure that everything is blending seamlessly, and then bring it down onto your neck and kind of like behind your ear a little bit, so that if you wear your hair up, you don't have a completely different color right here versus over here. This is what I do when I'm doing brides too. I will make sure that I get a little bit of that foundation onto their ear. If they have any jewelry on prior to, which they normally don't, I just ask them to remove it. Politely, of course. Now I'm going to use the e.l.f. This is like a contouring shade. It's called Camo Liquid Bronzer and Contour. I'm just going to dab it on the tops of my cheekbones instead of down here, because I am aging a little bit and I'm starting to see more crow's feet and everything. Everything is starting to kind of sag, or I don't want it to look that way. So I'm going to just dab it on the tops of my cheekbones like that. And you guys, This stuff, you know what, actually, I did this yesterday too. I dabbed it on my forehead and my temples, and I really liked how it looked. And I'll show you how I blend it out. But this stuff goes a long ways. It's pretty pigmented. Okay, so this is, I think this is by Flower. It's GRWM brand. I think is it GRWM? I think it is. But anyway, I got this from Walmart a long time ago. But I usually just take this end and I will start stamping the contour into my face. As a matter of fact, whenever I'm applying any cream, whether it's foundation or blush or contour, eyeshadow, whatever it is, I will stamp it into my face instead of rubbing it, because rubbing it just kind of smears it all over the place, whereas stamping it into your skin helps it to just kind of melt into the skin a little bit and blend a little bit better. I know this looks crazy, but trust the process. And what I'm going to do in just a minute after I do this is go back in with my foundation brush and just kind of stamp along it to blend out the lines a little bit more. I just kind of gently push that into the back of my hairline a little bit. Not so much to the point where I'm getting makeup in my hair, which I have done, but I'm just pushing it back in there a little bit. One thing when you're doing this is when you start blending this out, start blending it kind of in a downward motion, and then whatever's left, bring it back into the hairline, because that will help avoid getting too much makeup in your hair. I'm just taking my foundation brush, just kind of stamping out that line a little bit more and helping all this blend together beautifully. And you can see how pigmented this stuff is and how much a little goes a long ways. I'm just contouring out my nose into my eyebrow area a little bit more. And then just kind of bringing it down a little bit on the sides. And if you're not careful with contouring your nose, you can definitely give yourself the appearance of a crooked nose. So you have to be careful when it comes to contouring the nose. When in doubt, buff it out. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is use the e.l.f. This is also the Camo Liquid Blush. I think we used the Camo Liquid Contour and Bronze a while ago. This is the blush. I'm just going to dab it here and here. And again, I'm going to stamp this out. I'm just keeping it on the tops of my cheekbones. And blush has a tendency to kind of disappear on my face. As a matter of fact, I think it's like that for most people. You start out strong with it and then it just kind of like disappears within 5 or 10 minutes. So what I like to do is after I get it blended out like I want it, I will then set it with a powder. And even when you're setting with a powder, you may even have to go back in with a setting spray to really set it in place and touch up as you go. The more layering you do, the more everything is going to stay in place. So I'm going to just dab it out a little bit with my makeup brush, duh. I'm going to dab it back out with my foundation brush just to blend it a little bit more. I'm going to use the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer. This is what it looks like. I'm just going to dab. You know what I thought about doing? I should have done it. I forgot to do it. Spray my face again with the setting spray. Now I'm going to use the e.l.f. If you haven't noticed, I love e.l.f. products. I don't even know what color. Oh, yes, I do. I'm sorry. This is the e.l.f. blush in the shade Bright Pink. So I'm just literally, all of e.l.f.'s products are so pigmented that a little bit goes a long ways, which is fantastic because their stuff is not only, you know, reasonable price-wise, but their products are long-lasting and effective because they are very pigmented. So just dab my brush, barely, tap it, and then tap it onto my face and stamp it on my face. Sometimes, oh, you know, I forgot to hit my nose with the bronzer. Do that. But sometimes I will go in with the blush and just like tap it on my forehead, my cheek, tip of my nose, just for a little more color. For my eyeshadow, I use, I be cheap when I use my makeup, okay? This is the Believe Beauty. It's by Dollar General, but I am not gonna lie. This eyeshadow palette is the bomb. It is, do people say, I don't even know what people say anymore. I am obviously old. I don't know what Gen Zs say now. I'm not even gonna try to repeat what they say because I will just embarrass myself like I just did by saying it's the bomb. So I just, you know, showed my real age here. Anyway, it's amazing. We'll just leave it at that. This Dollar General eyeshadow is amazing. And I just take that lightest color right there, the shimmery color, and just dab it into the corners of my eyes. Y'all, it has been so long since I have made like a makeup video. So long. Oh my gosh. I do makeup videos, I've done hair videos, like hair tutorials, and then I love educating about hair products and stuff. So that's what this channel is all about. It's just all about beauty and lifestyle and all that good stuff because I love it. Oh, you know what I have been using? This is so old, but it's by MAC. I forgot that I've been using this lately too. It's called Blush Please. But it is a cream blush and it is amazing. I love cream blushes. Like, I don't know, I have noticed as I've gotten older, cream anything looks better on my skin than just all powder. All powdered looks a little cakey now. And I think it's because of the fine lines and wrinkles that I have in my face now, and my pores are also a little bit larger. That's just what happens when you turn 40. Everything starts to look a little different. So you have to adjust accordingly. Kind of sucks. I hate it, but you know, I just get Botox, I guess. I don't know why I have a hard time with like aging. I don't know. Some people don't, some people do. I'm one of those that I'm like, I don't want to get older. I mean, I don't want to look like I'm getting older, but I also don't want to look like I'm, you know, 17 for the rest of my life either. So there's a fine line. A little tip when you're doing your eye makeup is whatever bronzer that you put on your face, like on your cheekbones, it's a good thing to start with that bronzer as your base for your eyeshadow, no matter what color you're gonna do, because it just kind of ties everything in together. So I'm gonna take this Too Faced Chocolate Soleil and just kind of dab it onto the base of my eyelid and then just take it up a little bit. And again, I am so sorry I'm having to talk so quietly. My little one is asleep and I don't want to wake him up. And I really don't know how much longer he'll be asleep. So he might be joining the video, or we might have to pause the video. We will see. I'm just trying to get this done as quickly as possible, which is quite hard to do when you're recording it. With the same eyeshadow palette that I used for my eyes, I'm going to take this color and this color and this color. And I'm going to just line the bottom of my lash line here with it and smudge it out just a tiny bit. Something I've started steering away from is black liners or really dark brown eyeliners. I started out using black eyeliner when I was younger. It looked fine, it looked great. And then as I got a little bit older, I had to switch over to a dark brown eyeliner, which was great. And now that I'm getting even older, I'm having to switch it up again and go even lighter to like a nice bronzy color, because if not, it kind of just tends to look too harsh. So I have to just go a little bit lighter. And I'm just dragging whatever's left on my brush out the corner of my eyes a little bit, which I can't really do a cat eye or a winged eye or whatever you want to call it, because I have hooded eyes, like extremely hooded. Well, I think they're extremely hooded. They might not be as hooded as some others, but I definitely have hooded eyelids. So sometimes using different eyeshadows just kind of runs together and it just looks weird. But also you can't really do a winged liner. It doesn't look right. So one trick I did learn is to place your brush or your pencil here and then just kind of like drag it like that, and that's it. So you like start in the corner of your eye here and you just kind of drag it up. And then I like to just kind of brush up the rest of it just to blend it out just a tiny bit more. It creates an illusion of a lifted eye. It's like some days it works and then some days it does not work, and I don't understand. I just don't. So we don't try to understand. I'm going to put my eyebrows on and then my mascara and then my lips and I'll be done. Oh yeah, and I got the wrong color. Newborn brain. We're gonna see what it looks like, and if it looks awful, then it'll just have to stay that way because I don't have a store near me that has this stuff, so too late to exchange it. She's quite ashy. I got the ash brown instead of the espresso, but this is the best brow pencil I have ever used. It's by NYX. This is in the shade ash brown, and I normally get the shade espresso, but I had all of my kiddos with me yesterday and I was trying to be quick and I was like, yeah, that sounds about right, let me get that. Well, that was about wrong because that is not the shade I've been using. But anyway, this is my third time buying this pencil. I don't think I've ever repurchased a product other than mascara that many times, so you know it's good. We might have to warm her up with a warm brown eyeshadow, which honestly sometimes is what I use. That's a good tip, is like if you're using a powder to fill in your eyebrows, you don't have to use a specific product that's for your eyebrows. You can use an eyeshadow that's the color of your eyebrows and it works just as good. A lot of this stuff is just marketing, to be honest. We're gonna fill her in because she looks like I got like tattooed eyebrows with the wrong color. It's basically, it's a little bit better, but like a dark ash brown again. Good thing I'm not doing this for anybody but myself today. I'm using the Smoky Eye Mascara by, I think this is by Bobbi Brown, yes. This is the Bobbi Brown one. This is a new mascara that I've been using. I used to use, I think it was Maybelline, the voluminous one. I can't remember, but it was in a big fat pink tube. It was amazing. But what I did notice with that one is that my eyelashes were shedding so badly with that. I felt like it was starting to make my eyelashes fall out. So I stopped using it because I was like, well, they're already getting sparse and they're already getting thinner. Nobody tells you that as you get older. Let me just go down the list real quick of what happens to your face, just your face alone, okay? So when you hit 40, or when you start to get a little bit older, when I say older, I mean like between the ages of 38 and 40, your jowls start being predominant. You start to lose collagen in your skin, so your cheeks and stuff are not as plump. And then you start to get the puffiness around your eyes, and then the muscles down here kind of loosen, I guess. So it kind of creates a drooping, tired effect on your eyes. And then your lip color starts to go away too as you get older. Your lip color starts to fade, and then it looks like you don't have any lips. I used to have a beautiful lip color when I was younger. I used to be able to just wear clear lip gloss, and people would ask me all the time what color of lip gloss I was using. And now when I put the clear lip gloss on, I'm like, where the heck are my lips if I don't line them or put color on them? So that's another thing. And then obviously your crow's feet become more prominent and noticeable, and your eyebrows start to thin out at the tail end before they start thinning out here. I did overpluck my brows when I was younger, which I wish I had never done. But anyway, I did overpluck them and some of them never grew back. So now I have to fill them in. I have had them microbladed and I loved it, and I need to get them touched up. So I have had that done, but that starts to get thinned out. and then your 11s start becoming more noticeable. The lines in your forehead become more noticeable. It just looks like you're falling apart. And it makes you feel like you're falling apart mentally because you can see the progression. And I don't know, sometimes, and being in the beauty industry, I am going to notice those things way more, or it is going to, I hate to say bother me, but it's the truth. It's going to bother me more than it used to because I'm in the beauty industry, and with society, you know, you feel like you have to keep up with everybody and everything. Everybody looks so young and beautiful, and you know, it is what it is. I mean, I want to get Botox, but I also don't want my face to be frozen in place to where I don't look human anymore. And I, you know, I don't want to get filler if I don't have to, but you know, here we are. And just take it as it comes, I guess, and deal with it. This is the e.l.f. Cream Glide Lip Liner. What shade is it? It is in the shade Mauve Aside, but it goes on creamy like the MAC lip liner, but I wouldn't say that it lasts as long, but it's still a good dupe. So it is worth it. But most of this stuff is drugstore brand. It's totally fine. I am curious as to how long that setting spray is going to last, and if it's going to be worth putting in my professional makeup kit for my brides. So anyway, now I think I'm going to do a tutorial on my hair, and I will post that in a separate video. If you stayed till the end of this, thank you so much. Like I said, this channel is all about beauty, hair products, makeup. I did post a day in the life video. It's just a little bit different, but you know, just wanted to switch things up a little bit. So if you haven't checked that out, be sure to check that out. But anyway, thank you for being here. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this or anything beauty related. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, and thank you again so much for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye.